You see, it gets smaller. When you think you know a thing, and I'm the all-knowing, all you're doing to your reality is this. Smaller.
And
You're not expanding. You see? That's why I tell people never stop learning, never stop growing, because it's just you're paying attention to the truth of all things when you accept that in and you apply it, because you will not be able to stop learning. Truthfully,
yes,
you
of
won't
course,
be
yeah.
able to stop growing. Truthfully, things are always changing with you. Go ahead, I hear you.
I naturally have that thirst for that. Like
Uh-huh.
I will go to things that I once was I don't believe that, just to learn from that perspective, and through that it may teach me more about what I already knew, or
Right.
open my eyes to, oh shit, I really didn't know what I thought I did. That's why I would never have nigga I know, because I know. It's like this is what I've learned. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still learning. Do not I'm only 21. So no telling what I'll be thinking when I'm 25, when I'm
Yep.
28. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And it's like I just got that natural thirst for learning. People ask me, how you don't know about this new trend on TikTok, bro? I'm listening to lectures all day. I'm reading books. They want to know what religion I am because they can see me quoting things from the Bible, quoting things from the Quran, quoting things from different religions and different um civilizations and stuff. Label me into a box, and I'm like, bro, I think I'm just a learner, a thinker, and
A
I'm here
seeker.
to try to show
A
people that
seeker.
yes,
I put that in my new book. I was explaining that. So you write in alignment with the crown science, because I explained that do this when they ask you what you believe in, and you taking the
mm-hmm,
walk of the elite. Say I'm a seeker.
mm-hmm.
I'm here to seek.
Yes,
That's what I'm doing.
they ask me what is my beliefs. I tell them I'm not trying to believe stuff. I'm
Mm.
trying to find things out. They ask me, I don't even believe in myself. I'm sure my journey is to know myself,
Mm.
to figure out myself. I'm learning myself.
Yeah.
Um, and at first I was discouraged. Well, not discouraged. I don't know what the right word would be, but I live in a place where I ain't finna get my. I'm gonna drop the low. Hold up. I live in a place where there's not much conscious things popping off. So I was like, damn, I'm alone. Until I started realizing, oh, I might have to be the one to start this. I might have to be the one that be that person, is that torch illuminating that for others. Because what's the point of me saying, oh, it's nothing here, let me go somewhere else?
Yeah.
Now you're blocking off the, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe this is where I was supposed to be. And these and I know I could be having trillions of thoughts. So I'll be having to try to filter them
No, I can walk
into
with what you're saying. So then I'll say this to you: focus on being the light, and the people gonna come.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Focus on actually being the light,
All right.
as opposed to whether or not you need to teach people or lead people or help people.
Mm-hmm,
Focus on being a light, meaning do the work that will be necessary to reach them. As you learning and getting all these lectures, you're gonna meet people in passing at the grocery
mm-hmm,
store. You're gonna see somebody drop something, and you're gonna help them pick it up. And that was the one thing they needed, that was putting them on a path. You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking for the scenarios in which you'll teach people, accept that they will come. You understand? The people will find you. It's a part of it. I don't know who's been teaching you other than myself, but let me tell you something. I gotta not necessarily warn you, but I want to encourage you to be cautious about something. It ain't gonna stop when you start.
mm-hmm.
It never stops, because it's the red pill. You can call it the green pill if you will. It never stops. You can't not look into the mirror. You understand? You can't not just look into the mirror. You can't not be aware of what's going on with self and what your intentions are, and what's the reason for you going for this or the reason for you can't not be aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
When people come to you, you might be drained and you think you don't have no energy left, but they still see you glowing, and you might
Yeah.
not feel like it that day. Those are the moments where you really be tested, because
Mm-hmm.
you have degrees of selflessness and then you have degrees of selfishness. The greatest uncovery for someone who's on this path may very well be when you realize your being selfish is the act of selflessness.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you get the sacrificial lamb science of someone who gives his life willingly, because
Now
they
I want to.
recognize that their life is already over. That's a part of
Mm-hmm.
the journey. You already have to leave here one day. And
Yeah.
as far as you know, that moment isn't known to you.
Yes.
So then it's an illusory idea to say, let me pick the time and place when I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to come be ready for this. You listen, you have to be ready now. It
Yeah.
means you have to always be ready. Somebody walk to your house right now and they knock on the door. You got to know that's an angel.
Mm.
Meaning there's a messenger. They're going to bring you something. They're going to say something. If they never say anything, the moment you open the door or look through the peephole and see the image of the being, that was information.
Mm.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You have to be
Mm.
ready at all times, always ready. That means you're centered. So you're not learning just to teach. You're learning because you can't know for them. You're learning for you.
Mm. All
If
right.
the knowledge or the affirmation says go to the mountaintop, we'll get you from there. That's how you'll escape the destruction lot. Or you go over here lot. This is how you're gonna, okay, you know this, right? This is what they just told you. You could tell Sabria all you want to. She might not listen to you. As a matter of fact, you might find time wasted. What you gonna do about that? Were you aware enough of whether or not you were supposed to take this time to talk to this person or make sure you got you out? Now, the moment you start walking that path selfishly, and you're telling people along the way, selflessly, this is where I'm going. You're either going there with me or you're not. But I can't walk for you.
Yes.
They can say, you're weird. They can say, we don't know what bro got going on. Or they can say, I'm walking with you. I don't
Mm.
even know what the fuck you're talking about. But something in me told me to listen to you.
Yeah. The things that you're
Catch
saying
it. It
is,
ain't over. I'm not done.
oh, my bad. Sorry, my bad.
I'm almost done. When you get there and you look around and you see who made it there with you, you did a selfless act by not just walking past and not telling nobody. That was a selfless act. It was your walking, though, that was a selfish act because you ain't asked nobody to pick you up and carry you. You make sure you got you out. So the analogy here is you got to make sure you're doing the work. So when people see you, the light they see keeps growing and expanding further and further away from amber because amber can be attractive too. Don't tell me people don't like rubies as much as they might like emeralds. Some people might like rubies more. And look, as I'm speaking to you, you got the two colors visible.
Mm.
Go ahead. I don't want to go too far away. Go ahead.
No, no, I'm listening. I'm always intrigued by knowledge. Even if I'm not saying this is you, but even when I might be listening to a teacher, so to say, some of the things I may not agree with, some of the things I might not believe in, but I still take it in and use it as a research topic. I'm not saying that's
Exactly.
you. In fact, talking to you, listening to you is kind of almost the opposite. I'm like, bro, he's spot on with a lot of things. A lot of things you saying are things that I've always naturally been that way in
Yep.
certain things. So, for example, like when I was in the middle of the pod, I'm in the middle of the pod meditating. You know what I'm saying? And that's what drew certain motherfuckers to me. That they probably would have never felt comfortable in that setting to even speak on those type of things if they didn't see this weird little light skinned boy meditating. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Um, and the selflessness part, sometimes I feel like I could be too selfless. I end up so ready to sacrifice myself and spill my blood to help further whatever the mission at hand may be. Sometimes I gotta realize, am I wasting myself for these people? Am I throwing
You're
gold?
trying to get this is what a lot of
Come
people are
on.
doing. They're attempting to get to point Z, right? They still somewhere around A, B. They're attempting to jump to point Z. I'll give you this. Don't rush the sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
If I can hand you something that you don't rush it because you're going to look back and realize it was all a part of it. All of it was the sacrifice. Don't rush the
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice. Losing the flesh, you don't want to rush it. I'm taking my time. Notice I'm saying my time. I'm taking my time. I ain't want to start eating meat. People clowned me for years. I was still, I didn't want to start eating meat. You a damn lie. It just happened.
Yes.
You see? So
In fact, as you speak on that, sorry, let me say this real quick.
go
I'm
ahead.
cutting in real fast. As you're saying that relates to so many things with me. As I was first, and okay, earlier you asked me who have been teaching me. I never really had any elders around me that had rightful knowledge, so I felt like I low key had to form my own university in my brain, and then as a child, and go seek knowledge from other places and try to decipher it for myself, which I felt like I got lost at a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
And then certain people, and I would say you're included in that, have, I don't know, somehow just popped out of nowhere into my realm, and it's so clear, but I don't want to end up blindly following anything. But I'm like, nah, this too right. Let me like think about it though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Um, anyways, but what I want to say, I just want to speak on that from earlier. That you asked who's teaching me. I never really had a teacher really. Um, but anyways, back to the my bad, my dog tweaking. He's seeing stuff outside, ain't nobody out there. He be acting like his spirits and stuff walking around. He be growling. Uh, but anyways, well shit, we could branch off into that. Feeling entities around you ever since you were a child. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so there's this sense that I would have, like, as a kid in my room playing with Legos, right before your mother comes into the room and say something, you feel like you turn around before she hit the door. And sometimes you'll get that same feeling while alone. But it won't be like, oh my gosh, it's a scary ghost. I never looked at ghosts as scary because I never had a scary experience with whatever they would call a ghost or a spirit.
Yeah.
Instead, it would always feel like, um, as I get in certain paths, as I'm looking back and reflecting on my childhood, I didn't notice at the time. As I was going into certain things, it'll feel more like somebody coming and like patting you on the back, somebody
Uh-huh.
coming and saying, um, that's kind of what guided me. I didn't have a teacher, but whatever that thing was would guide me into certain things. And
I get you.
it would be like divine intervention. Anytime I tried to be a fuck nigga, like growing up, I tried to like mess with hoes and shit. For some reason, wake up the next morning, all my tires flat. She home alone. I can't go. I tried to get in the gang or some shit. Next thing I know, all them niggas get hit, locked up. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Right before
Divine
they was supposed to
intervention.
jump me in. Um,
Divine
oh, I know
intervention.
what I was, yeah. And what I was gonna say about you said you stop eating meat. I'm slowly losing my appetite for it. When I was first hearing teachers say that, I'm like, bro, I can't stop eating no ribs. I'm black, bro. I can't stop eating no fried chicken. Come on, you got me twisted. Well, now it's like it almost seemed disgusting to me and perverse.
Yep. The last time I was supposed to eat meat was, damn, I think December 31st, 2023. Right?
Yeah.
And I was really finna like eat the shit like, and my folks had got it from my wife had ordered the food. We both was like having our last meal for like some chicken, some other shit. I don't some type of wings. I couldn't
Mm.
even eat the shit. I couldn't even eat mine
Swear, swear.
because when I opened up the foil, it smelled like blood. And I said, "You don't smell that?" I gave it to her, and she was like, "I can't smell it." She said, "But I get what you're saying. Like I get what the smell may be." I said, "That shit smell like straight blood. Like how if you cut your finger and smell, that shit
Mm-hmm.
smell like blood." So I really literally could not eat the food. And that's how I knew it was over. And I ain't ate meat since.
That's how it is with me. It feels like, I mean, I'm still at the point where I will eat it out of necessity because you look at me, I'm a little rough right now, so I might not got it. So sometimes if that's it, I'll eat that. But the thing about it is, I will go so long though, like
What do you mean
to
necessity?
the meaning like I don't have anything else to eat except some shit my people done bought, and they like, there's some chicken in there. And I don't really want that shit. They like, you trying to be bougie? I ain't trying to be bougie. It's like that shit is like offering a plate of shit to me, and I will like maybe if I get so starved, I might. But even that slowly fading away. I'm like, shit, I'm just gonna fast then. When I learned what fasting was, I realized I've been kind of naturally fasting my whole life. Randomly, I'll just go on a fast without knowing. Just my
Yeah.
appetite disappear. Same thing with
Uh-huh.
celibacy. When they talk about celibacy, as a kid in my whole life, no, I that's not hard for me to do. And it's not that I'm not
Uh-huh.
attracted to women. It's just as I get older, the super like uh promiscuous energy is unattractive to me.
Yeah,
I don't really
sure.
like that. Boys would be like, "Boy, you tweaking, bro. If I was you, I would have." Now, why you got to be me to do it? Why you always got to say if you was me? Nigga, go do it as yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And it be the niggas who
uh,
ain't gonna really do that shit. Nigga ain't gonna do shit but freeze up.
but nah, that shit ain't attractive to me. And it ain't like a lot of motherfuckers be like, I'm focusing on myself. Like, but you ain't never had no girls focusing on you. I'm talking about my DMs flooded with unsolicited porn. You know what I mean? I got like you get all the options, but it's not even attractive to you like that. I don't feel like it's a flex. Boy, I get all these hoes in my DMs and shit. It's more like I don't really like these type of women like that. It ain't hard for me to be celibate. I don't feel like I'm a panting dog for anything thrown my way. In fact, that sometimes it kind of feel disgusting a little bit. Not sex itself, just like these type of women. It's not really attractive to me. I don't really like all that. Something about something. Your physical is sexually attractive to me, but it's something else stronger than that that has an overbearing stench of putridness that I don't even want to come around. Like I don't know how to explain it,
No, you
but
sound like the angels. The reason why they don't like coming around human beings.
you ain't want to make it seem like that. But yeah, it kind of do feel like that at times.
Yeah,
I
you
don't know
sound
about the angel part. I'm not really as educated on that end, but sometimes it do feel like human beings feel like disgusting creatures to me at times.
yeah, you a human being.
Explain.
I gotta explain that you're a human being.
I mean, I know it's I know what I think that is. I think, but it seems like you just said that as in like you meaning something.
You said what you said to me, so I'm just listen. I'm only walking with what you're saying. You said human beings are disgusting to you sometimes.
Yes,
I said, well, you're a
yes,
human
yes.
being. You know, it's easier to look at somebody. I was just talking to my wife about a day ago, 2 days ago. I said,
Mm-hmm.
you ever seen somebody doing some shit that you do and be like, I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
do that shit no more.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's
I
like
understand.
easier to look at other, like I saw somebody scrolling. Like I just saw
Mm-hmm.
somebody sitting and scrolling on their phone one day and I was like, I don't want to do that shit. Cause
Mm-hmm.
it looked like they stuck.
Yeah,
See what I'm saying?
but
But you don't
but
see
the
it from
thing.
that angle when it's looking when it's you. What I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying is, while you might be on some of these women look this way or they feel this way, some of the women could be saying the same thing about you.
No,
It
I
could be
understand that.
women that's
I
in the,
understand that.
you know what I'm saying? It could be women in a higher aura looking at you and saying, you know, I can't feel the divinity coming from him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, you know. So it just
Mm-hmm.
depends
No,
on different degrees. So I know
I
what you
100%
mean.
understand. I know that perspective. I understand that perspective. I understand that. My bad. I keep cutting you off. My bad.
Now
I'm
you
getting
good.
so.
You
I'm
good.
not
You
used
can
to being
talk.
able to speak to somebody like this on this type of stuff. So I'm excited.
You don't yeah, you don't got to worry about cutting me off. I'm not worried about that. So I just want to make sure that it's clear. Like a lot of what you're saying, you know what I mean, will have multiple routes that you could express it. As in, if you feel this way about this person, there may be others who feel that way about you.
Yes, yes.
So
I
then
understand that. I
it
understand that.
puts you in a seat of overstanding. Like you, the one who you might not think is like on that level or conscious or whatever, the promiscuous one or the stripper, or if you're able to control yourself, you
Mm-hmm.
could sit with that. Let me tell you what happened. This was 2022, either 2022. Yeah, it was 2022. 2022. I went to a strip club with my folks, and there was a sister there who
Mm-hmm.
some she was melanin dominant, but I don't know if she was all the way us. But either way, I could tell she had the gene there somewhere. But she was there. She wasn't the ones who came up to me. I had a section off to the side. I don't like sitting amongst population. So when I would go and already go to the whoever over the owner and like, yo, give me this room over here. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm coming out, it's to get my drinks. And if I see somebody I like, I'm gonna grab them on my way to my drink, or I'm gonna grab them
Yeah,
on my way
yeah,
back to my room. I would literally use the strip club as a meditative place. I know that sounds crazy, but you don't know me.
yeah.
Not saying you, I'm saying people don't know. All right. So the sister came over to the section, right? And she was sitting down in the area. She was talking to me. It turned out 2, 3 hours passed. She never gave me a dance. I never asked her for no dance. The whole 2-3 hours, what we doing? She talking to me. She asking me
Talking.
questions. She telling me her situation spiritually, things like that. She getting her questions answered, and she like what she said. She ain't even worried about no money right now. She said, I'm not even worried about no money right now. She said, I know it's 1,000 ways to get paid, and she said, I know
Yeah.
talking to you right now is paying me. And I'm telling you, there were people who were walking past, who were looking at us, and they were confused because like we just sitting there talking. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, what's so interesting that this dancer is no longer even dancing. She's just talking. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
my thing is, that's a stripper. Ain't no telling what her lifestyle was or is. It don't matter. When you're able to sit there and do that and there's no ulterior motive, or when you able to, the same female who, like, ain't nothing wrong with a female being bad, like, or
Yeah.
sexy, whatever the word niggas want to
No,
use.
I want to
Or,
say this real quick to cut you.
go ahead.
My bad, to cut you off again. I've done that multiple times. Talking like I don't even know what. Like sometimes I can see something past all that, and I don't know why. I done came over and talked to. It might have slipped me on some flirting shit at first, because that's just how you know
You
what I'm saying.
answering
Anyways,
your
we
own
into
question.
talking.
So let me say this to you. You answering your own question. Because your intention from the beginning was what you saw based. It was based on what you saw. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying? You met her there, and you say, it might have been on some flirting stuff. Okay, how about this? When you see something you like, and you like, okay, this could be based on my flesh, switch the intention and have the conversation and not get the number. Not saying you never
yeah,
did
that's what I'm
that.
trying to say.
I'm not
Oh, go
saying
ahead,
you
go.
never did that. I'm saying make that a part of your prerogative, your priority. That
Mm,
when you meeting anybody, not just the women who you think are attractive, right? The women who you might
mm,
not find attractive. When you have the opportunity
yeah,
to speak to people and learn from them, learn from them. It was plenty of people who I know, they were prostitutes, strippers,
yeah,
all kind of. And let me tell you something that's very simple, right? There was a sister who claimed that she was real conscious, woke, all that. She did
mm,
readings and everything. I didn't
mm,
want her to touch my hair,
mm,
right? This is around like 2021, sometime in that. I did not like her, but she was bad as hell, fine as hell. But I ain't
yeah,
like her touching my hair. One thing she couldn't touch on me was my hair. And she would be asking about that. How, why you like me? So I'm very specific about that, very particular about that. I
mm,
said, I don't let everybody touch my hair. There
mm,
was a sister who never was conscious. I ain't never known her to be conscious. She came straight from the hood. She didn't pass go. She didn't collect $200. Right? She was the one that's ass shaking in the club, all that. I go
mm,
over her house just so she can twist my hair, just so
yeah.
she can braid my hair, and then I leave. Why?
No, well,
Because
go ahead.
that one had more pure energy than the one who was claiming to be conscious.
Yes, yes, that's
Mary
what I was trying to tell you. Say
Magdalene, I'm
was,
almost there.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Mary Magdalene was said to be a prostitute, but she was the closest one to Jesus.
Mm,
So if you really on that level, it don't matter who you interact with. I'm Test what I'm telling you. If you not in the root yourself,
mm,
when you leave them, they gonna start rising up. Or
mm,
before you leave them, everything gonna listen. You'll bring things out of people you never would have thought were possible.
mm.
Don't look with
Uh,
your eyes. Go
mm.
ahead.
No, I'm saying I'm hearing what you're saying, and I'm just taking it in. And what I wanted to say was I've done similar things to that. Like I'll talk to people that, like I said, like girls who I know they moving crazy and stuff, but we're not even talking about that. We talking about this type of stuff. I didn't even know she knew this. Something drew me to it when I said on the flirting stuff, because that's how I know how to approach. I don't know how to. I gotta like work on that. So I approach it on that type of shit. Like, hey, you XYZ and stuff. Then we get to talking and stuff. We talking for hours on FaceTime. Everybody know this girl through the city going crazy. We never talked about nothing sexual. I'll be outside talking to a homeless person. I'll be talking to a motherfucker who I know this nigga got bodies and shit. We not talking about no hood shit when we speaking. We speaking for hours. And I don't even know what would draw us to each other. What I was trying to say earlier was sometimes it'd be hard for me to do that because I'll walk into an environment and it'd be this type of energy that's just overbearing for me. I gotta like try to go outside to take a deep breath or something because it feel like, for lack of better terms, just I don't know, dark energy. I mean, I feel like I'm getting more sensitive to it as I get older. Um, I walk into a place where I go back to my old neighborhoods, and I never sent at one time in my life it felt like home. Now when I go there, you feel just hatred and demonic. I don't know the right term to say. I don't want to sound cliche, but you will feel that energy in the air and make you not really want to be in there.
Yep.
It'll almost repel you,
Yep.
and I don't want to do that because I know that there's people in there that's just as lost. That all they needed was somebody like you to come through and, like you said, just walk through. And they seen this weird dude walking through. He had an ankh on. He got, who is this motherfucker? They might have laughed at him with their homies and shit, but that put him on a different path. So
Yep.
I want to go to these places to find those folks, but it'll feel like the energy in those areas be sometimes too overbearing for me. So I'm trying
Then
to
you
find
ain't
a way
supposed to
that I
be
can.
there.
All right, all right.
Listen, only a few of us can walk into the devil's living room, shake his hand, and walk out.
Mm-hmm.
Only a few of us can do that. What I'm saying, be who you are. Not everybody is an Asa.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you are Peters. Some of you are John. Some of you are Luke. Some of you are Musa. All right. Some of y'all ain't even in the story. Okay. Or some of y'all was in the crowd. Be who you are. You know what I mean? If you can go into an establishment, listen, let me tell you this. That's why I did a class called Psychic Self-Defense. If you have a psychic self-defense, no matter where you go, you know, you can put the defenses up. It may take work to put the defenses up, just like when you play in Mortal Kombat, right? You press the
Yeah.
block button, but you can still block. But you have to
Crazy. Say that's one of
press
my
the
favorite
block button.
games. That's crazy.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
You said what?
I said that's crazy. You said that. That's one of my favorite games. I don't even play shit. I don't even play games for real, but I'll hop on some Mortal
But
Kombat
when
every
you
once
get
in a
on,
while.
there's more to come. Okay. So you press block, right? You know, if you hold it too long, though, your life can be taken down because you still
Yeah,
got to find a way to attack. So
yeah,
defense ain't
yeah,
enough
yeah,
by itself. My point is, family, I'll walk into a strip club today and it'll be mine.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
However, I'd rather not be there because I just don't favor the environment.
Mm-hmm.
So there were times when I walked through the strip club. There were times when I walked through certain places in the hood. Now you have to catch me in passing because I'm further up the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is know how far along the walk you are. Maybe it's not for you. You're not supposed to be there, right? Because you can't handle it. Or maybe you're not supposed to be there because you're further up the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Your thing that you're going to have to deal with is what damn near everybody has to deal with. Whether or not you're more invested in your flesh or in the spirit. If you're more invested in the flesh and you tell me I don't want to go, you may be dealing with an ego trip.
Mm-hmm.
If you're invested in the spirit though, and you're like, I don't want to go, you may be dealing with an ego death.
All right.
I'll tell you this. When the light get bright, don't fright.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
When the light is gonna get
really
bright,
need to hear that right now.
when the light get bright, don't fright, because you're gonna be like, listen, you're gonna be sitting there telling us, I wonder if I can levitate off the floor. And you'll be minding your business. And next thing you turn around, you levitate off the floor. Don't get scared now.
Yeah,
You're gonna
that's
say,
crazy. Like the things that you're
I
saying is
know
so
somebody coming.
relevant right now.
I know. You're gonna say, I know someone gonna knock on my door. And they gonna knock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't get scared now. You're gonna listen, your girl gonna ask you, take out the trash. And you're gonna take out the trash. But guess what she gonna say? You heard me? And
Yeah,
you're gonna be like,
yeah.
yeah. And she like, I never
I
asked you to do it, but I
didn't
was thinking it.
say it.
I was
Yeah.
thinking it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, what you psychic? Don't get scared now. This is signs. These are signs that you're unraveling, which means don't take this the wrong way. Your death is near.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take it the wrong way.
No, no,
And
no,
don't take it the wrong way before I said it instead of after. Okay, that
no.
was me putting you in. That was me putting your defenses in place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know it's time for you to unravel when you start experiencing what you've been saying is possible for you to experience. You look for a sign and it comes immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Things just start flowing and moving exactly how you say. Oh, don't get scared. So when the light get bright, don't fright. That's my key for you. I never told anybody that before. So other people gonna benefit from what you just were told. When it get bright, don't fright. Light get bright, don't fright. Because if you're truly choosing the soul over the body, then part of the reason why you can't go in these environments is because you're beating that part of the game. The biggest part to beat is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's the purpose in, oh, I don't like dealing with these types of women and da 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 da. But when niggas search up for porn, they look for those exact women.
Mm-hmm.
Then that means they might have beat the outside part of the game, but internally it's still there. So does that make them weak or incapable of growing? No, it means that they have another layer to unfold. But imagine how many people never unfold that layer because they think the outside is all that matters. They think what they see with their eye matters alone, and that's is way deeper than that. You ever notice what I just told you, right? Most people out here, the conscious community, people, pastors, everybody, they'll shun Hebrew Israelites, everybody. They'll shun the woman because she's
Yeah.
dressing tight, or because she's revealing a little more, right? Or
Yeah.
because she's dancing a certain way. They'll shun her, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll shame her, call her this, Jezebel, beat her down.
Okay,
And
well,
then
let me say
the,
this though. That's
the
that's
moment when they
I
get
don't
by
rock with that.
themselves,
I don't rock with that.
huh?
See, I don't rock with that when they try to like put hatred on her though.
Yeah, for
When
sure.
it's like I don't rock with. I never rocked with that. That one never cool to me because I
That's what
remember
I'm
as
trying
a
to tell
child I
you.
was never super religious, but when Jesus came and was speaking to this lady who was I'm not very acquainted with the Bible super, but he was speaking to a lady that was supposed to be I guess a prostitute or something, and I think people was like, nah, that's a prostitute, bro. Don't. He like, nah, bro. Like I'm gonna still speak to her.
You want to know
Like I'm not gonna
why?
put.
Because a lot of the disciples that was around Jesus didn't like women
Mm,
because they were projecting. When you meet a woman, she gonna tell you whether or not you the man you say you are based off of how she is in your presence. And there are
mm,
different degrees of how that woman will express and show you that. And there are different women that come with different degrees of that expression and showing. Or whether or not you
mm,
say, you one of the gods, you him. See if you him when the women come around. Do
mm,
they handle you like that? Do they treat you like that?
mm.
Or is it just something that you say out of your mouth? Are you listening to me? Because it's something important that most people are missing.
No,
A lot of the men
I think
hate
I'm
women.
more than just listening. Sorry.
You good, you good. A lot of the men hate women because they projecting. They hate what they love. And they're not
Mm,
strong enough to overcome it. So they succumb to their hatred nature that wants to lash out and fight things they don't understand. And women are dealing with that every day. And women are pushing against it. They're like, man, y'all are so hard on us about everything. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's what.
We
Yeah, that's
dress
what I
this
see the
way.
result
Listen,
of it being.
the woman is throwing her body, all kind of stuff. She's taking her clothes off. Y'all bash her, or they bash her,
Mm,
and then she says, "You know what? I'm gonna become a Muslim." They bash her.
mm,
Say you only doing that for attention. You only being modest for attention. You were just complaining she was showing too much. Brittany Renner, and then you'll see Kevin Gates, Brittany Renner. They'll come together and they bashing her more. That men are afraid of women. They don't understand women, so they try to oppress them, and they don't understand. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is a very important key that someone like Mary Magdalene was, who everybody was bashing, calling her prostitute, all this other stuff. Well, who was there when Jesus was supposed to be on the cross? Was it all them disciples, all them niggas who was saying stone the women, or was it Mary Magdalene sitting there right with him, looking for the body, making sure he was buried right, making sure everything went right? Who was there to make sure? Come on now, you get you a player ass woman, right?
yeah,
Nigga, get into some shit. Who gonna hold them down?
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just another school, is what I'm telling you. If you can look
All
at a
right.
sister and just see a sister, see a woman and just see the woman.
Yes, yeah,
Let her
that's.
actions and how she is toward you determine how you go about handling her or dealing with her, or whatever
Mm,
degree you're going to activate at that time. But you don't know her when you see her. So that same, I'm gonna tell you how people didn't know me. People saw me pants sagging, you know what I'm saying, rag on, whatever, chain, whatever, talking a certain way because they seen me around some niggas. And they judged
Yeah.
all of us based on that crowd. If they would have talked to us, they would have found me there. Because they would have found through talking to me